Hey kids, what's up? I am gonna work on my personal project. It's Saturday morning and I am excited to work on this car. It's a 1962 Acadian, which is basically a Nova. 9 years ago, I grafted a roof off of a Corvair on this car to build a bubble top 62 Chevy 2. It's gonna run a 4.9, 4-speed, dual fours. Actually, the motor that you saw us put in the little Model A Roadster, that's the motor that was supposed to go in this car. Now I gotta build one more so that both cars still have their engines. Let's get to work. We've got this wicked front end that we got from Speedway Motors. It's for a Chevy 2, obviously. We painted the car a while back, and you remember that? Now we painted the subframe and I'd like to mount it, and here's what I'm working on. I want them to be grade 8 bolts. I want them to look like that. And I thought it's something I could just show you guys. It's pretty straightforward. This coating actually doesn't go away. All you're doing is kind of polishing the coating. So we'll go to our little buffer and we'll show you how to make some nice clean bolts. Okay. All right, so here's what we do here, and you don't have to have fancy buffing equipment to do this. You can buy a pretty cheap buffer and make this work. You need a buffer of some sort, some compound. It gets a little noisy. Check that out. Literally just like seconds, right? The drill's nice because you don't burn your hands. On a full show car, we tend to get all the markings out of everything and work at it way harder and use stainless, but this is of course to hold a major part of the frame in place, so I was happier with just buffing some grade 8 stuff. Now, washers, because we want them to look just as nice. You'll see how we do that. Chuck it up in the drill. Assembled front end. Apparently these OCD projects are never going to end. The very tip of the end of that bolt sticks through a nut and it's going to be exposed. So we're going to buff that too. There's your glimpse into building cars at the next level. My OCD kicked in and I just want to make sure all the faces of the bolts are clocked the same way. I don't know if that's necessary. So Teresa asked me a few weeks ago, why this car? This car was actually my therapy, believe it or not. In 2014, after we won Detroit, I came home with a couple big trophies and no way to pay for my life. I had remortgaged my house and my parents. I had borrowed money from friends. I had traded favors, paint jobs for interior, paint jobs for wheels, things like that, where I owed about 4 or 5 paint jobs to my friends. I owed money all over in my family, and I was just really bummed out because I didn't know what to do at that point. And the one thing I can do well, and that doesn't cost a lot of money, is move metal around. So one of my buddies found this body for me for $100, and I thought, well, for $100 and a bunch of welding wire and some of my time, I could probably work on an idea that a buddy of mine by the name of Josh Mishler had kind of presented to me. I like heavy customs. I like moving body panels around and creating what-if cars. And so that was kind of my therapy. I spent 6 months in the shop, sort of creating the body lines. I got very excited about the car, and of course I didn't have any money to buy parts. So it got stalled for a little while, and then clients' cars came first, and it's just been one of those projects that never has had its priority day. So we're hoping after we finish the Detroit car this year, we can make this one a priority, and hopefully it'll be on the road in the next year or so. They do take a lot of time to finish up. You can see what we've done today together. I went from putting 12 bolts to bolt the subframe in to polishing them and taking basically a half-hour, 45-minute job and turning it into a 2.5-hour job. But that's part of what we do.
Whoa. Alright, so everything drops to the floor. Sequencing. Problem with building one-off cars is it takes a while to learn the sequencing. Lucky for us.
So I get a bonus day because the weekend's not over yet. I just showed up early a couple hours ago and started polishing some bolts. I'm gonna assemble this front end so we can hang some rotors on it. Maybe even get a wheel on it.
Oh, you're filming.
Turns out today I got my very own polishing assistant.
Yeah, fluffy.
How do you like the fluff?
It's not bad.
Okay, well, we're getting there. Dug out the steering rack. We had already painted it, but these ends right here aren't shiny. So poor David has to make those ends shiny so we can install it. And this beautiful sway bar also needs a little buff.
All right, you're not gonna notice me at the end of this.
You'll be a different shade. Not just like you went to the beach and got tanned, maybe.
I don't know. They're going the other way.
You can't put your face right where the wheel is. You got to put your face to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So that's one of our little secrets too. We do multiple mock-ups, like mock-up after mock-up after mock-up. We like to get inspired, and if you're just looking at a pile of parts on the bench, you don't get inspired. So this is our little mock-up at the end of the weekend. And for all the haters, I know that I got a steering shaft that needs to be polished. I know that the tie rod ends aren't in place, and the rotor needs a full show polish. We'll get there.
Yeah, smaller car.
Yeah, we don't know how that front end's going on. So. All right, that's a big wing.
Talk to me, Goose.
I love mock-ups. They're good for making you feel good. Then you realize you still got lots of work ahead of you. So we'll have lots to show you, including these crazy headlight rings. They're billet, and they are shaped to fit. Look at the bottom there, it's not fitted yet. You gotta see it from the backside to see it. All right, that's it for polishing my nuts on a weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.